The Jewish people are extraordinary. Here and in Israel, now and throughout history. A people filled with love, with purpose, with holiness. Hold on to that truth, no matter what the voices say. And we are broken. We are wounded. We are questioning. Carry that truth gently, even when your spirit feels heavy. Because both are true, and both are in this room, and both are in us. 2 years after October 7th, the wound is still open. Time has not healed. It has revealed how deep the pain goes, how relentless the hate is, how much we seem to be living through the darkest moments of our history all over again. Leonard Cohen sang that the light is how the cracks is how the light gets in. And that light has revealed so much. How much we need each other. How strong this community is. How resilient our people remain. In the darkness, we are shining. And still, we're hurting. Not only collectively, but we're hurting personally. Our fractures run deep, deeper than headlines. They are at our tables, in our friendships, here in our community, and they're in our very souls. The Torah records that when our biblical ancestors watched Jerusalem burn for the first time 2,500 years ago, the prophet Isaiah prayed to God, Nachamu, Nachamu Ami, comfort, O comfort my people. How many times in the 2,000 years since the second exile has that prayer cried from the heart and the soul of the Jewish people? How many times in the past 2 years have we cried those words? How many times have I cried? I can't begin to count. Too many to count. Nachamu, Nachamu Ami. Comfort, O comfort my people. How can I comfort you? How can we piece back together our broken hearts and our wounded souls? Another sermon about what Israel should or shouldn't do? That won't heal our brokenness. Those debates, they matter, but they can't be the whole of Jewish life. Another sermon about who's to blame in Gaza? That won't save the innocent. Hamas's cruelty is clear. The suffering of civilians is real. And the hostages are still hostage to it all. Another litany of statistics about anti-Semitism in Canada or on campus. We know the danger is real. We know, sadly, that the policies are ineffective. But fear and grievance cannot be the center of our Judaism. Nachamu, Nachamu Ami, comfort, O comfort my people. Comfort my people. How? How can I comfort my people? What does comfort actually look like? Comfort is right here, in this synagogue, in this community, with all of you. In just Judaism itself. In just Judaism, prayer and practice. Comfort is in just Judaism, memory and possibility. In just Judaism, unapologetic and alive. Just as in essential, as in the core practices and values that ground who we are as a people. And just as in justice, a Judaism measured not only in ritual, but in righteousness. A Judaism that carries the fulfillment of a 2,000-year dream, a return to our ancestral homeland. A Judaism that holds Zionism and its founders as it envisioned. The realization of prayers spoken centuries ago since the time of Isaiah. L'shana haba'ah b'Yerushalayim, next year in Jerusalem. And the 77-year promise of Israel's declaration of independence, that the state of Israel be based on freedom, justice, and peace, as envisaged by the prophets, for all who dwell there. The Judaism that I speak of is not a Judaism that leaves parts of us behind. It's a Judaism that gathers the whole story together. The covenant at Sinai, the yearning and the trauma of exile, the rebirth of a sovereign people in our ancestral homeland, and the call to live out our values even in the hardest of times and the most challenging of places. Now, that's not revolutionary. It's nothing new. In fact, it's very old. It's both ancient and urgent. It's just Judaism. See, just Judaism insists that our prayers and our actions, our memory and our moral conscience, they are inseparable. Both dimensions, the essential and the just, they're not optional. They are what make Judaism whole and allow our people to embody our promise to shine as an Or LaGoyim, as a light unto the nations, and to kindle that light as Am Yisrael itself. For when Judaism is fully lived through prayer and study, peace, and the pursuit of justice, it repairs individuals, it elevates communities, and it inspires the whole world. Both the essential and the just, they are necessary. And we can't confuse our tradition of debate with endless quarreling. One builds us up, the other tears us down. So, how do we navigate this moment, you and I? This moment in Jewish life, not Jewish history, but here in the Jewish present. How do we navigate this world that we are living in as Jews today? Sadly, it's not so different, if different at all, from our parents and our grandparents and what they went through. Our tradition points to God, Torah, and Israel as the tools that sustained them and our people for thousands of years. And so today I want to offer a reframing, not to replace that classic rubric, but to bring closer to us this moment. Think of them as three tools from our millennia-old toolbox, refurbished for this present-day situation. The old essential tools of prayer, of study, and peace. Prayer reaches towards God, a power greater than ourselves, however we understand and define it. And study connects us with Torah, our story and our wisdom. And peace? Peace is what binds us to Israel, to Am and Aretz, to the people and the land, in every place that we live. Bakesh shalom v'rodefu. Seek peace and pursue it, the psalmist declares. Taken together, prayer and study and peace, they are the core of Jewish life. They are just Judaism. These tools are what got us to this moment as a people that by all accounts, past and present, should have disappeared like the Aztecs, the Canaanites, and the Hittites. And these tools are just what we need right now. 3 tools. 3 ways to find comfort and wholeness, meaning and purpose in the new year. So let's take them out of that toolbox, dust them off, and remember or learn for the first time how to use them. Number 1, prayer. Prayer isn't magic. It's not a spiritual vending machine that dispenses blessings in exchange for correct words. Prayer is a recalibrating of the heart. Years ago, I was sitting at the bedside of a congregant in the hospital. Machines were beeping, tubes were everywhere, and the fear of what might come hung heavily in the air. You might think that I always know what to say in that moment. I don't, and I didn't then. And neither did they. Finally, she whispered, "Rabbi, will you share a prayer with me? Not fix this or explain that. Just be here. Be here with me in prayer." We didn't recite the whole liturgy. We said the Shema, slowly and quietly, and together. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. That's what I said. The words were a container, and we filled them with all of the fear and all of the hope and all of the longing that neither of us could put into sentences. That's what prayer is. The words are ancient, but what they carry is always new because they hold the complexity of our lives. Prayer doesn't change God, it changes us. Prayer is not a tool for explaining life, it's a tool for holding us steady in it. So how do you use prayer as a tool in this complicated and painful time? Choose one prayer and let it anchor you. It doesn't have to be long or in Hebrew. Express gratitude when you wake up, or whisper the Shema before bed, or pause to say Motzi before eating. One prayer, one line, one breath. The words are a container, and you pour your soul into them. Do it every day and see how it changes you. It's just Judaism. Pray every day. Number 2, the rabbis teach that the study of Torah is equal to all of the commandments in the Torah. Why? Because study is not only information, it's formation. Study makes us into the kind of people who can live wisely. Study trains us to think with nuance, to argue with humility, to listen and question with curiosity. It helps us resist propaganda and simplification, and boy, do we need that now more than ever. In a world of weaponized slogans, study is our defense and our nourishment. It's okay, I did the bar mitzvah, they can leave. I think often of the Jews who carried a single book through exile, who whispered verses in the concentration camps, who recited psalms in secret. Study in Judaism has never been a luxury. It has always been a lifeline. The Mishnah teaches that when two people sit together and study Torah, the Shekhinah, the divine presence of God, studies with them. If you want holiness in your life, if you want meaning beyond absurdity, if you want to make sense out of the moral complexity of this moment, study with us, with your Klei Kodesh. Study a sacred text with a friend over coffee. Study with your child at the dinner table. Because every time we learn, the Shekhinah sits beside us, God's presence. And we all need companionship. We all need wisdom. Every time we learn, we uncover a path toward becoming the person and the people that we're meant to be. Friends, it's just Judaism. Study it. Number 3, making peace. Since many of us were children, if we knew one Hebrew word, it was what? Shalom. We know it means hello, goodbye, and peace. But it has a fourth meaning that encompasses them all. Shalom means wholeness. To make peace is to stitch together what has been torn in the world and in our families. The rabbis teach that one of the greatest mitzvot, one of the greatest mitzvahs is to make peace where there is strife. And boy, yes, there is strife in our world. But the strife that wounds us most is closest to home, at the dinner table, in family group chats, in lost friendships, in silences that stretch now for months and years. Leave the troubles of the world behind for a moment. Let this sanctuary be a sanctuary. Focus on what's right in front of you, or the person right next to you. Les Sandy's right there. Sitting beside you, within arm's reach. You can hold their hand, it's okay. This shul, you can do that. We're not going to solve Israel or Gaza or anti-Semitism here. I'm sorry if that's what you came for. We're not going to do that. But I'll tell you this. Whatever lies between you and those that you love, Judaism gives us tools to repair that. Shalom is a verb to make the broken whole. The Midrash says that after the golden calf, God was so angry with what some fearful and fanatical Jews had done to distort Judaism that Moses had to talk God down from destroying the whole of the Israelite people. And if we're honest, we can understand the impulse that God had. But God backs down. God's anger subsides. God seeks resolution, not retribution. So hear the lesson. If God can revoke an angry vow, if God can learn that the person is more important than the principle, then so can we, and so should we. And I will confess another thing. In 25 years of being a rabbi, I can't recall ever using the word should in a sermon, but I'm using it now. We all make vows in anger. We say never again about someone in our lives. And sometimes that's necessary for our safety and our dignity. But often it's just hardened pain. I know not every rift can be healed, not between us and not between Israelis and Palestinians, but every rift should be met with empathy, understanding. The High Holy Days remind us that judgment begins with compassion, passion. First, God listens, then God weighs, and then God acts. We are created in God's image, and so the same can be true for us. We can listen, we can release bitterness, we can refuse to let anger be the only story, and we can act with goodness and godliness. Sometimes the most peaceful act is release. To say, I can't be whole even if this relationship, or I can be whole, even if this relationship is never whole. Forgiveness is a homecoming. It's a return. It is tshuva. Not a mountain to climb. Forgiveness is a step to take. Take that step. This is hard, I know. It's holy, too, and desperately needed. So here is how to use this tool. Between now and Yom Kippur, choose one relationship, not all of them, just one. Call, write, or simply say to them, I'm listening. Because this is how peace begins. Let's model in our lives what we find missing in the world. Because that's the essence of tshuva on this holy day of shalom. It's just Judaism. We should seek peace. This past summer marked my 25th year in the rabbinate. And it began my 13th year, my bar mitzvah year, as your rabbi here. Like every bar mitzvah, it's a time to look back with gratitude and to look forward with hope and responsibility. I am grateful for every one of those years with you. There is a lot I don't know, but I do know this. What we need more than anything to navigate this moment is a Judaism that is both simple and profound, a Judaism that is personal and public, a Judaism that shapes us, and a Judaism that bends the moral arc of humanity towards justice. The world tells us, Jews, you are alone, you are hated, you will not endure. But Judaism says, we are a people. You are loved. You and us are eternal. I am proud to be a Jew. Not only because we have survived, but because we have something worth surviving for. Because in the chaos of the present day, our tradition still teaches us and the world how to live with integrity, and live with intention and joy. Because we are obligated to seek justice and to pursue it. So let me be clear about what I'm asking of each of us this year, myself included, because I need this sermon just as much as you. I need to hear it. I need it too. In this new year, pray. Give your soul a voice. Even if it's just one word, even if it's a cry of pain. And in this new year, study. Don't just scroll. Go deep. Let Torah shape you. And in this new year, we should seek peace where we can. Take one step towards reconciliation or one act of release. These are not small things, I know, but these are the things that make us who we are. These are the things that sustain us. They are just Judaism. The words that Paloma sang, where's Paloma? The words that Paloma sang, she's somewhere over there. They are still true. We are beautiful and a little broken too. And it's also true that through prayer and study and peace, through just Judaism, we will do as our people have done for 3,000 years. We will take brokenness and make it whole and holy, our lives and our world. The time for being defined by who and what threatens us is over. It is time to rise, to remember who and what we are, to embrace the fullness of our tradition, to restore the hope of 2,000 years, to uphold the justice at the heart of our Judaism, to renew the spirit of our people. We are not only a people who survive, we are a people who live, a people who thrive. So let the sound of the shofar call us to that life, a life of peace, a life of prayer, a life of study, a life of justice. That is just Judaism. And that's who we are. And that's what we need more than ever in this new year. Shana Tova.